का कार्यक्रम जो है उसके लिए मैंने रिक्वेस्ट की है सुरेंद्र पुरोहित जी से, जो ओवरसीज बीजेपी के या हमारे प्रेसिडेंट है लुइसियाना के। तो मैंने वही जो है कार्यक्रम का सारा कार्यक्रम बनाएंगे, तो इसलिए मुझे उनसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि वो बात करें। उससे पहले मैं उनका थोड़ा सा परिचय करवा दूं आपको जिनको मालूम नहीं है। वो अपने पुरोहित जी बहुत पुराने कार्यकर्ता है, हमारे प्रेसिडेंट रहे हैं बहुत सालों से, और मेरे साथ संबंध रहा उनका आपी के बीच में। मैं तो आपी में शुरू से लगा हूँ जब से वो बना था, और उसके साथ साथ इनका संबंध भी रहा। ये डिफरेंट जो उनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थी उनके चेयर करते रहे, आगे बढ़ रहे। इस समय भी उनकी जो चैरिटेबल फाउंडेशन है उसके प्रेसिडेंट हैं। इसलिए मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो कार्यक्रम को चालू करें। उनसे मेरी बात हो चुकी है और वो जो है उनको सबको मालूम है क्या करना है उन्होंने, तो इस बार भी करेंगे। होपफुली अगर आगे से भी ये करते रहेंगे ये बात। ओके, तो पुरोहित जी आप चलिएगा।
As the president of the USA Fiji, I like to welcome our dear members of the Fiji and also our friends, guests of the Fiji. He are here with us, and out of the two very prominent people.
आपकी आवाज कम आ रही है, आवाज थोड़ा बढ़ाइए।
एको हो रहा है।
Can you hear me now?
हाँ ठीक है।
आपका हियर हो रहा है, पर आपका एको आ रहा है।
दिनेश जी आप चुप करो, मेरे मुझसे लगे हुए जुड़े हुए आप।
I can hear you pretty well though.
ठीक है।
So we have also the two very prominent guests. They will be joining us, or they will be here. That is Payush Goyal ji and Vinay Agarwal ji. And if they are, they should be joining us, or they should be with us. I can't see them. With the leadership of Bhismaji, we have invited three very prominent thinkers, activists, and India committed friends. I wholeheartedly welcome them. And Sri Satya Dosapatji, I think I saw him, he should be here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sri Krishna Reddy ji.
Namaste.
Namaste ji, Reddy ji, namaste. And Sri Adapat Prasad ji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. I'm here.
अडप्पा प्रसाद जी।
हाँ, Adappa Prasad ji. These are very prominent figures.
थोड़ा एको आ रहा है।
बीबी आ रहा है एको?
हाँ।
इको भीष्म जी के लैपटॉप से आ रहा होगा।
बंद करता हूँ मैं, बंद करता हूँ मैं। चलो कर दिया बंद।
Okay.
रोज जी कहाँ गए?
I lost it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sure. These are the prominent figures. We always committed. They are always committed to India welfare and progress. So I will request these guests to give us some ideas, their views on the current position of U.S. government on India matters. So I think we will give them 10 minutes each. So we can start with Sri Satya Dosapatji, and he can give us in 10 minutes his views about the current position of US government on India matters. So he can get started.
Okay, namaste, and it's humbling to be among all the UP people, and and to speak here to this august presence. I'm getting echo. I'm not sure how you are feeling.
We are all getting echo. So somebody is speaking in two phones, either the one laptop audio system and another should be the phone. So इसलिए वो echo आ रहा है. So one
Hello, can you hear me now? This still we are getting echo.
Yes, we can hear you. I have muted everybody else, so it should not get any echo.
I think it is coming from your phone, G. That is your device, because we are still getting the echo. Okay. Can you hear me, folks? Okay, I think you can hear me now because all of you are muted. Okay.
Yes.
So namaste to everyone. It's humbling to be with many prominent people here. I consider myself an activist and nothing big here. But I think I share the passion all of you have for the country. We really love the country we came from, and we are faithful to the country we came from, and we are also faithful to the country we live, Janmabhoomi and Karmabhoomi. And on the topic of US with Biden administration and how it is be with India, I don't think at a overall position it be no different from what it was during the Obama Biden. There won't be major changes. Like the way Trump would go forward to when China attacked India, he even sent the Nimitz warriors and the military, the naval ships. I don't think we will see that kind of a response, that full-hearted response and throttle response. But it won't be, but it will not be any different from Obama Biden at a high level. Maybe the specifics may differ from one day to another day, but overall it won't be different. But I want to put it a larger picture here. We talk about a Biden administration, but who's running the show in this country? I don't think Biden administration is running the show. The show is run by the global elite. What is the global elite agenda for India? And if I say global elite, who are this global elite? The global elite are the few families, and then there is a tier structure. There is a businesses, the families, and the politicians are under their hold. And the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, what is that? There are the Warblers. There are few families that run the West of the country. And I think that is the picture we always miss. And this is the global elite, and also have a pact with China. They are profiting a lot from China, but at the same time, they are also concerned about what China can do, because China is not going to just be a business relationship, but China wants to just like the way global elite wants to dominate the world, the China wants to take that position. I mean, I don't know if you are aware, the currency wars happening between China, Russia combined versus US, and the global elite efforts to not to put down the dollar and bring the cashless currency. That is a whole another topic to discuss about. But so now when it comes to India, what is the goals of this global elite? They want India to be as a prop against to control China's ambitions. I mean, we can see how China is doing what West has been doing for many centuries. They are doing the same kind of machinations, whether it's in Asia or Africa. Now, what does this global elite wants? They want to have control, use India as a control against China. They want to prop it just so that they can keep China at check. At the same time, this global elite do not want another China in their hand. They do not want India to become another challenge to the supremacy of the West. Then they want the continuous supply. I mean, India is a English-speaking population, and they can provide excellent supply of technical coolies, I call them, technical coolies for running the Western institutions, Western industry, basically, like the way they used to bring coolies, laborers to run the sugar plantations, like the British brought Indians to so many countries, especially in South America. So they want to bring technical coolies from India, good supply of technical coolies from India to man their industries. Then the third thing they want is to allow the country to prosper enough so that while it's not a threat to them, it will be able to it will be able to stand up to China, but also provide a vast market, 1.2 billion people going to 1.5 billion people. And even if 400 million people become middle class or 500 million, it is a great base for them to make more money. So this is the bigger agenda. Now, to accomplish this thing, they also work together in non-Christian countries, like whether it's a Hindu countries like India or Buddhist countries. They want to convert the country. So that is why they use the Christian missionaries. If you look at how South America and all this, when Columbus went, he went with preachers and people who convert as well as to conquer. So they want to conquer and convert. That is their goal. That mindset has not gone away. That mindset is very much there when it comes to countries like India, non-Christian countries. So they work in partnership. So while these guys go, like for example, there is a Tamil Nadu power project, and they will use the churches to do a protest against India, because that Tamil Nadu power project was using the nuclear technology from Russia, and they don't want that. They want American technology to be bought. So how did they do it? They funded the churches in Tamil Nadu, and then all these guys, Kejriwal, I mean, they're all funded with leftish. I mean, Magsaysay Award. And so the whole thing is a show. From Nobel Prizes to Western media, it is all a show. So that is how they operate. So now the reason I'm bringing global elite is, Biden, for whatever he's saying, and almost all administrations from Bush onwards or from Clinton onwards, I mean, almost all of them are under the grip of the global elite. They can do, Democrats and Republicans can fight about small things here and there. At the end of the day, they have to serve the global elite agenda, whether it is the pharmaceutical or weapon industry or, I mean, all those industries that America goes and conquers the rest of the world. So my input is, no matter what is what administration, except the Trump is the only exception, which is why they don't want him there and they got him out. But all these people, they have certain agenda and they will follow it, except for the minor differences here and there. Thanks. That's all I have, Jay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
So I will request Sri Krishnaji Reddy ji to speak a few minutes, enlighten about the same topic, and see whether we can have a little difference or the same ideas, and how we can learn something more in different direction or the same direction. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here tonight. I have very few things to say. So about the Biden administration, I agree with Satyaji that the differences will be not that drastic, in the sense that the relationship between two countries have matured in every level, defense or diplomatic, and every level. So no administration can change drastically the relationship the way it's going. But there will be some hiccups. There will be some differences, obviously. Whether the Biden administration has its own vote bank, obviously, and they have to ponder to their vote bank, and there may be some differences. But overall, if you look at it, I mean, the perspective of the relationship, I think I give more credit to Vajpayee government, how it started in 1998, and then Clinton and advanced it, and then Bush enhanced it so much, and then it carried forward by Obama and then Trump. But in every administration, it has the relationship has gone up. So now I guess any administration, if you look at either Trump administration or Biden or any administration, they need India as much as India needs US. So it's obviously that it's a mutual interest. So that will definitely converge, our interest will converge in every level, even trade or defense or any climate or any avenue, in international avenues. I mean, we do work together. So I'm not that concerned, but yes, there will be some elements in Biden administration who could try to disrupt or hinder the progress of the our relationship. But how do you tackle that? That's important thing. I think one thing that I remember Mikhail Gorbachev statement that you have to be in the system to change the system. So sometimes you cannot change some things out from outside. So in the administration should do certain things. So my perspective is that we have to be, Indian Americans have to be in both parties. We have to talk to both of them, and then and have a dialogue with everyone. So in that perspective, I think I'm a lot of Indian Americans already in the administration. So so I'm very optimistic that whatever the differences that are going to have, that it's not clear yet, what's going to happen in the next 1 year, 2 years. We don't know yet. I mean, it's just the initial stage of the Biden administration. But yes, I anticipate some kind of a differences. But I think that could be resolved very easily through dialogue. But as far as overall, I think I'm very optimistic on that front. So I think anything I probably that's all I want to say now.
Thank you, Krishnaji. And now we'd like to hear from Sri Adapa Prasadji. Please.
Purohitji, before Adappaji come, those who don't know, Krishnaji was the immediately past president of Overseas Friends of BJP, and Adappaji is the current president of Overseas Friends of BJP.
Great. Nice to know that.
Right now in this group, we have 4 presidents, current or former 4 presidents of BJP, and 2 vice presidents, past vice president. So you can see we are almost in majority here.
Nice to know that.
Including you, the Dr. Purohitji, you were,
yes, I was part of it.
Time. You were vice president of Overseas Friends of BJP, and Maheshji is also there. He was also vice president in my time.
But it's a vocal minority that rules.
Okay, but over to you, Adappaji.
Namaste. Thank you, Dineshji. First of all, Pranam Bhishmaji. It has been a long time since I see you and since I speak with you. And also, I'm pleasantly surprised to be invited to this August gathering. So having said that, I echo Krishnaji's observation. Basically, Biden administration more or less will carry out Trump administration's policy vis-a-vis India, particularly because of their policy and then their strategy regarding the Indo-Pacific region. So it will be in that respect, it will be much more, it will be different than Obama administration, because after Obama administration, a lot of things happened with respect to China. It's not only intellectual property theft, their pervasive invasion of the universities, stealing all the technology, and also, of course, global dominance, and threatening US allies like Taiwan and their, supremacy in the South China Sea and all that. So for all those reasons, there is much more firmer belief in the defense policy particularly, and that is going to drive the relationship between US and India from the Biden administration. Having said that, there are elements within the Democratic Party, including their legislature wing and their think tanks, because all of these give input to the administration. So there will be a lot of pressure on Biden administration from these leftist-oriented anti-India forces. And that is where Indian American community and the government of India, BJP itself, will have challenges. We understand, the government of India, BJP understands those challenges. So by the time of June, July timeframe, we sense that Biden is going to win. So immediately after that, there was a lot of outreach. I was part of that outreach as well. So we established some relationship. So let's see what happens. We are in a very careful observational mode at this point, but more confident that we could do business with Biden administration. And Biden himself was vice president during Obama administration, so there was a lot of rapport between the two sides. However, we have like complete Islamic leftist nexus that we see right now, and this is a really Islamic leftist nexus. Not only United States, but it is a global phenomena. Recently, you might have heard from French minister about the exact same topic. Even in India, actually, the leftists, the Islamists have actually made truck with leftists. So that's how they are working at the global level. So that is our challenge. And let's see how we go. Biden has inducted almost 20 Indian Americans, but half of them are, almost useless for the sake of India. So we have a lot of work. We are working on the ground, and we will be working very strongly going forward. And that's what, as I said, it's observational mode. It's more than, anticipating or guessing. It's an observational mode we are, and we are confident also based on a little bit of history and what we know from the contacts that Modi government and BJP has made. So I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us. I was talking to some of the people in India, and this is what is happening in the US. At the Trump time, they used to make a news every 3 days because he was very outspoken. Whatever his mind thing is to speak out. And with Biden, is very quiet. For last 1 month, they didn't heard any news out in the newspapers or in the televisions or that much. So they are asking where do US stand against India? So I think a lot of things which you people have said today, and that just make sense because the army is still there. They are practicing together. And I think that will keep on doing that because things does not changes in 1 year. It takes a little longer time if anybody want to change the policy of the US or India. So I think at this time, I think we are I agree with that part that we are very cautious. And I think that we are seeing what is going on. And I'm sure that Modi government is very smart and they will get along with Biden. And I think things will keep going. Two democratic countries, there's no third democratic country I see in the world, most populous and most rich country. They have to work together. So that is what, a little bit what general public think in that direction. So now I think what we'd like to do that maybe all the members can speak about 2 minutes, their thought. So what they think about the thing. So Rajiv ji, you can get started and then you can put somebody else their name so we can go on the rotation.
Yeah, I cannot because the moment I unmute myself, that echo will start. So just go to the next person and then, we can continue.
Okay, so anybody can volunteer, can start it, so we can all get a chance to speak about 2 minutes each. Okay. Who want to go?
Okay, this is Gavran. I'll go.
Okay.
I have, 2 questions or topics to discuss. Number one, it appears that Biden is actually not in power in a sense that Kamala is taking a lot of his activities, even talking to foreign leaders. Do you think, or does the panel think that there might be an issue in upcoming months? Will there be a transition of some sort because of Biden's health? And the second question I have is, I would like to get a sense of all the people of Indian origin who have been nominated and what their leanings are. A couple of them who are more vocal, we have pretty good idea, but we don't have a good grasp of uh, all the Indian origin people who have been appointed and what their leanings are and how can we compensate or check them.
Anyone of our speakers, Satyaji, Krishnaji, anybody can
Yeah,
answer that question?
I can answer that question. This is Prasad Adapa. So simply, we have done a little research on them. So there are about over 20 people, and out of those 20, 2 are in dilemma, in limbo right now. Most probably Neera Tandon, which is the top position in Biden administration, director of OMB, Office of Management and Budget, very prestigious post. She may not be endorsed. So there are not many votes for her because the so-called, Biden Republican voters, like, they're not. They said they're not going to vote. So, and also there's one Democrat who is not going to vote from West Virginia. So that is in limbo. And same thing with Dr. Vivek Murthy, who is slated for US Surgeon General position. So there is an allegation that he actually earned $1.5 million as a consultant for COVID-19. So that is one more thing. The rest of the guys like Vanita Gupta, who is Associate Attorney General, Department of Justice, very important position and a little scary also. And Vanita is a leftist. So that is but she is not as bad as Neera Tandon in terms of India, but she is a leftist. And there is another person who is, I think, Kashmiri, Uzra Zeya. She is in human rights and democracy and blah, blah, blah. So that is another interesting thing on our part. What are they going to needle us on in terms of human rights or whatever we are seeing? And then there is a Sabrina Singh, who was an aide to Kamala Harris in California. Now she is appointed as White House Deputy Press Secretary. She is a Khalistani. She has relations with Khalistanis. So apart from them, there are some good people also who we can trust on and quote friendship with them for their influence. So there are like Garima Verma, who is assisting First Lady, and there is Bharat Ramamurthy is definitely pro-India. He's a deputy director at the U.S. National Economic Council in White House. So he'll be stationed in White House. And we have Gautam Raghavan and then Vinay Reddy, who is the speech writer of Biden. That is one more person that we can reach out. And then there is a very young guy called Vedant Patel. He's assistant press secretary to president. And there are a couple of people like Vidur Sharma and Sonia Agarwal. So they are little lower positions, but still important position like senior advisor. Sonia Agarwal is a senior advisor on climate policy, and so on and so forth. And worrisome part is that there are two Kashmiri ladies who actually took position as Indian Americans within the Biden administration. And added to that, we have a Pakistani American called Ali Jaidi, but he is in climate advisory board. And then there is a Bangladeshi called Zayan Siddiqui. He is also White House Deputy Chief of Staff. However, I just want to tell you, which I know, there is a Sri Lankan American who was again aide to Kamala Harris. Actually, she was personal assistant to Kamala Harris when she was senator and even before senator. And her name is Rohini Kosoglu. She is the domestic policy advisor to Kamala Harris. And this is the lady we were in touch. I just want to reveal to you. And our own BJP also is in touch with her, and also through Sri Lankan sources. So we have a reach through some few people, and important positions like Neera Tandon. It's basically useless for us because she won't do anything for India. Having said that, she may not be the OMB person now. So we'll see who is going to do what. And Vanita Gupta, we need to reach out and keep working on her. She is a good lawyer, and she is assistant, attorney general, which is a weak key position. So that's all I can say. Thank you.
Adappaji, anybody from non-resident China? Any Chinese guy?
There must be, but we did only research for the South Asia, mostly Indian, and the other three positions from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. There must be some Chinese, definitely Chinese origin person in there.
Okay. Any other members or the friends who want to speak out, please?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yes, my question to all of you is that if you're familiar with the National Security Advisor Jacob Sullivan, Jake Sullivan's first comments were in the Biden administration to have friends with Pakistan, and said that we need to promote our relationship with Pakistan for the Afghanistan war. And number two, my question is that the response from the Biden administration is not as enthusiastic as it was from Trump administration. Now, we may not see on the surface, but Bernie Sanders is going to assume a important position, and his views on Kashmir, we all know that. So my question to all of you is, how do we neutralize that? And how do we make sure that the defense treaty, which was started by the Trump administration, continues? Because their response is not as warm as Trump administration. So anybody can answer that question, please.
The Trump administration is much different from other US administrations. Trump is not a politician and is not subjected to other forces, or at least he doesn't want to be influenced. And we are not going to see the same kind of support to India like we had with Trump. So minus Trump, it will be similar as it was before. That much I feel. Now the specifics, or maybe some other people can comment, because I wasn't paying attention to the people Biden has been appointing, and what their
Especially Jack Sullivan, the National Security Advisor.
yeah, okay. About this person, well, I don't know what did study the history of this him as well, but I'm not sure they will make drastic changes because Pakistan is so close to China now. So there is some kind of, and Pakistan, I don't know if you heard their recent statement, US is no more as powerful as before. They're making some anti-US statements too. So I don't think it will be same as before, but other can weigh in who are better expert, more expertise than I do.
I think it's all depend on the Republican Party, how they do in the Congress election in 2 years now, whether they come in the power in the Congress, whether Trump still has the influence on them, or that has to be seen. I think we have to influence, as you said, at both the sides. I think the Republican as well as the Democrat, and maybe hopefully that if we can influence both sides and we have a majority of the votes for the Congress or the Senate, so that may be one thing that our Indian community has to look into that in the US. If we want to influence both sides. We don't want to influence only one side. I think we do not know what is going to happen next election in the Congress. If the Congress, the Republican Party gets it, so they have a big influence on some of the policies there too. And Senate is already being divided because it's going to take a long time before the Senate, Republican Party get a majority in the Senate. And I think the president, as you said, that we do not know anything because he did not speak, and he's more like, not fresh in the mind. And I think our vice president is more like a learning in the international scene. She's not been exposed in the past, so I think she's in the learning stage right now. So I think that is what I observe looking at the thing.
Yeah, but even Kamala Harris's niece in Tamil Nadu was making a lot of noise.
Well, Tamil Nadu, my brother is the governor of Tamil Nadu. So I get some of the news from there. So,
but isn't she making a lot of noise in Tamil Nadu?
Well, they're all making. Well, I think what Kamala would like to become, if he is in the US, he want to be a black leader, and if she talk to some Indians, she's the Indian leader. So I think she's a mixed up. Let us see what she does. I think that is a future. Next few months, we will know where India stands, because at this time for last 1 month, there's nothing going on actually out in the press or anything like that, and anything about India right now. And of course, that one definitely was sure that they say that we had to support Pakistan to control the Afghanistan. And I think, I do not know how they're going to control it from the Pakistan. I think they might give some more aid to Pakistan because they want to develop better relations. So I think we have to look into all these things. That's what my feeling is. And I think it was nice to hear from all of you and learn every day.
Rohitji, can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering. I think that perhaps we should be focusing on Kamala Harris, because yes. I know Biden is president, but for all practical purposes, my gut feeling is that this lady is going to run the show. She will be really, in a sense, president of this country. Right. So I think our focus should be on Kamala Harris, no matter on government level and our level. I think she is going to run the show. This is my gut feeling.
Yeah.
And I
right.
think, can I say something, Dr. Purohit?
Haji.
I think as long as Modi ji's government is strong in India, US cannot hurt India at all in any way. And as you can see, the way India is handling China,
pretty well.
This is the first time that China has to retreat Otherwise, wherever China intruded in any of its neighbors' territory, they never retreated. This is the first time that India showed that you have to go back. So this is very important. The entire world is watching how India handles China. And India has come out very strong. So that is the point I think US cannot ignore. The strength of India and the way Modi ji is handling domestic issues, international issues, and very important, the COVID issue. The way he has handled, the entire world is looking towards India for anything. So I think we should not worry whether it is Kamala Harris or Biden or anybody else in this administration. They cannot hurt India at all. That is what I feel.
Right. I think that India.
Can I, this Khalistani movement is a very troublesome. I mean, farmers' agitation kind of, were all fueled by the Khalistani movement. Others were insignificant, but most of it was by a Khalistani movement.
Agreed.
It is dying out. Now it is dying out.
But I think just to give you heads up, there are two issues that I have with. One is Kamala Harris actually has made comments against India in terms of CAA and Article 370. She refused to attend Modi ji's event. Those were the two important things. And Khalistanis are becoming more aggressive in US. We just had a rally yesterday, and we were planning to have a pro farm bill rally. There are 400 Khalistanis that showed up. We had changed the venue, but they went to Dr. Japra's home and protested over there very loudly. So I don't think it is. It may be dying out in terms of.
No, it is dying out in India.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It may be here in Canada and UK, but in India it is almost dying out, and they are begging, and they are, because most of them have been arrested, so they want these people to be released, and they are threatening. But I don't think court can release them so soon.
No, what I'm thinking is that in terms of here, the influence on politicians locally, because they are spending a lot of money, and that's where my concern is.
Let me, if you allow me, I can add something to this Khalistani topic. I'm also in charge of Sikh affairs in USA. So I have arranged meetings with some top leadership, with some of the Sikh leadership here and India. So the actual take is this. So most of the most of the supporters of farmers bill, the Sikhs in USA, are not Khalistanis. 98% of them are not Khalistanis. And I work with Gurudwaras here in Maryland and Virginia also. So what is happening is, what I realized and observed is that their system is much more worse than the mosque system. So the minority, like two people shouts with swords and all that in Gurudwara, all the rest of these, moderate Sikhs, they keep quiet. They don't do anything. They don't go against them. However, in the previous occasions when a Canadian Khalistani group has mandated that no Indian official should be invited in Gurudwaras, we basically brought our own ambassador, our community affairs ministers, our BJP leaders, including Ram Madhavji, to talk from the pulpit of their Gurudwara. So we have done that before. They allowed us before. So what is happening here is there is a mentality of Sikhs here. So I talked to them. None of them read those three laws. But what they say is, "Arey nahi yaar, Modi ji itna kiya hamare liye, इनको ये रिपील कर देना चाहिए." मैंने बोला कि क्यों रिपील कर देना, आपको उसमें क्या पसंद नहीं आया? अरे हमारे पास कहाँ है यार ये सब पढ़ने के लिए, तो तुम्हारे पास समय नहीं है तो ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हो? तो बोलता है कि अरे यार हमारे रिश्तेदार पंजाब में फोन करते हैं, हमें तंग करते हैं. So these are the nuances that we are trying to understand. And like Dinesh ji said, it is dying down. After January 26th episode, there is a little shakeup even in the Sikh community here in USA. So once the India part dies down, these guys will come back to us, most of them, because we means the government of India, Modi government, BJP has been working with Sikhs in USA coast to coast for the last 6 years. We have a huge list of them. Embassy and consulates are extremely active reaching out to them, and embassy and consulates still have that outreach even today.
Well, this is good to know. This is good to know.
I just want to add one thing, that Modi ji has fulfilled almost all their demands. I think they met in 2014 Sikh delegation, and Modi ji has almost fulfilled all their demands.
Yeah, all 50 demands were fulfilled. And when Kartarpur Sahib Tamasha was enacted by Bajwa from the other side, these guys came and actually met with BJP and also the ambassador here. And to my own surprise, actually, Modi ji has accepted within 10 days. And so even Sikh community was surprised how honest Modi ji was in terms of relieving everything, including removing 300 blacklisted people, even arresting that guy, the Delhi rights guy. So they're very happy with that. But again, it is Sikh community. It is a very difficult community than the Islamic community. So वो सरफिरा type का है, but at the same time, with sensitivity, we can still work with them and isolate that minority Khalistanis. And that is what we are also conveying to the lawmakers here, no matter how much money they are spending. We tied them with Pakistan's ISI in the Pakistani embassy of Washington, DC. I have photos of them, which Reuters has published, and I made a statement against them. This is Pakistani embassy funded Khalistani movement. So we are doing on our part. We could actually so far okay in terms of USA. Canada, we have a problem because of the Trudeau government. And another challenge is UK, but still UK Prime Minister is on our side and his party. So that is good part over there.
Trudeau also has changed his views now. Trudeau is also with the...
He's a Girgit type ka hai wo, Trudeau.
Because I think it is all the money
I would like to
gets.
mention here, situation in California is a very severe situation here. There were 400 cars. There were 400 cars in front of Dr. Japra's house, and they were saying Japra is Kutta, Modi is Kutta. That's what they are saying.
We
have to cancel. Sorry. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, they will do all those things. We are very used to it. They used to come on every August 15th and January 26th until 2014. They used to shout against India and all these demeaning words in front of ambassador's house. Yeah. And one of the Modi's function in DC, I mean, they did protest in New York, in California, and DC, they actually stomped on the Indian flag. But what happens, they are very limited now. So the 400 car rally happened only because of the farmers thing. It's not because of Khalistan. So they are utilizing the farmers thing in their own Khalistani thing. They didn't get any traction for their stupid Vision 2020 or whatever, Mission 2020. It is utter failure. So that's why they had this mauka, and they use our stupid, idiotic, silver spoon born people like Disha, and they are using those kind of things, using our own leftists. But in a larger view, we are not that alarmed. Let me tell you that. You can talk to any BJP person or government of India, because we have a better hold on this rather than 10 years ago. That much I can tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, recent election in Punjab, there were recent municipal elections in Punjab, and BJP fought on its own. It won some 66 seats out of 1,400 or so, but its percentage of vote rose 7 times. Earlier, last time it got 2%. This time BJP got 14% of the vote on its own. Earlier, they used to fight with Akali Dal. So that shows that BJP still is getting more vote in Punjab. And these are the urban areas votes where you have a lot of these aartis who are doing the protest. All the rich farmers are in urban areas, municipal corporation board. So I think election wise, we are not going to lose anywhere, not even in Jat belt in UP or in Haryana.
Hari Singh ji. Hari Singh ji.
हमारे पास टाइम है मेरे को somebody sent a video today. Do you have a time to watch it or no?
I don't know what.
Can I show it or no?
Well, we have only 5 minutes left.
Bisamji, let us hear from the Bisamji what he has to say.
Hari Singh ji. Hari Singh ji. Hari Singh ji. Hari Singh ji.
I think we have had a very good discussion and different issues, but like every time we have kind of deviated from the issue, from starting with the, relationship between US and India with the new administration, and we have gone back into domestic politics of India, because these discussions can never end. Going back to US-India relationship, I like what Satyaji said. I just want to remind what happened in the Obama administration second term. I hope people remember Devyani Khobragade issue. I hope people remember what Obama said about Narendra Modi. I hope people remember that during visit to India, Obama refused to reciprocate Narendra Modi's address to Obama in first name terms. Narendra Modi said several times, "My friend Barack," and Obama kept on saying, "Mr. Prime Minister." Offhand before the visit, Obama had also said that he has concerns about Narendra Modi government. And when asked what are the concerns, he says, "My middle name tells you that." So there were serious concerns during Obama-Biden administration. Let's go back to Biden's history. In 1998, Biden was the senator who blocked India getting, missile technology, the solid fuel, this thing. India's missile program was delayed for almost 10 years because of that. So when we say that there is not going to be any qualitative difference, that is a little bit of a misnomer. It is true that the bureaucracy on the both sides are carrying the relationship irrespective of the political leadership. So broad thrust will remain the same. People did mention role of Kamala Harris. What happens if Biden dies? And that possibility is there. His health is not very good. So whether he is living or something happens to him, an act of God, Kamala Harris becomes a president. And that is not good for India. So we need to prepare for that eventuality. 4 years is a very long time. And all her associates and family members have taken anti-India positions. People mentioned Sabrina Singh, Khalistani, and all that sort of thing. People did mention about National Security Advisor. Bottom line is that we cannot be complacent. People have not mentioned one issue, and that is the CAATSA sanctions. India probably will invite CAATSA sanctions for having purchased S-400 missile defense shield from Russia. Under CATS, anyone that buys actually defense equipment from Russia is subject to US sanctions, which are unilateral. That legislation was passed by the Congress in 2017, and India and Turkey are the test cases. Pressure is being put on Turkey right now for CATSA sanctions. The issue is that even if the president does not want, the mandarins in the State Department or National Security Council will create a scenario that sanctions become inevitable. So that issue does need to be, kept in mind. Point is that you cannot be very complacent with any US administration. People remember the Tarapur nuclear power plant. We had a bilateral contract and US reneged from that contract. So as far as India's defense establishment is concerned, any kind of relationship is to be taken with a pinch of salt, because US can renege any, contract or any pact or any treaty at any point in time. And that has happened, not in relation to India, but in general. What Trump did to WHO or Human Rights Council or Paris Agreement and things like that. So we need to be very cautious. We need to go in the positive direction.
Sure.
And we need to milk the cow as much as we can.
Okay.
But be cautious.
Thank you very much for all the comments, and also all our guests. I will really congratulate them, and we learn a lot. And I think I always learn every 2 weeks is something new. And now I think I will invite Bhismji to make a final comment. Bhismji, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just want to say namaskar. I enjoyed every part of it, and there's nothing to add. Let us keep on talking this way in the future also. And please come more often, more prepared, and with better timing. And thank you very much, Purohitji, for leading the whole thing. Okay,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.